everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to my live. And if you don't see the red box right there, welcome to my replay. And I appreciate that you are watching later if you weren't able to hop on the live. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations. And I'm also an independent designer with Couture. And we'll be doing some fun projects this evening with some Couture products. Once you hop onto the live or the replay, say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. That way I know who to say hi to. StreamYard lets me know how many are on, but I have no idea who pops on until you say hi. So hello. I also wanted to let you know I am using an online platform called StreamYard, so I'm able to go live in 3 places this evening. So tonight I'm live on my Facebook business page. I'm live in my private group, and I'm also live on my YouTube channel. So if you happen to hear me refer to a comment that you're not seeing in your feed, that commenter may be watching from another platform. Also, if you're watching from my private group, if you wouldn't mind hitting the link in the description of the video to let StreamYard access your profile name. Otherwise, you show up as Facebook user in my comments, and I don't know who to say hi to. So just a little bit of housekeeping there. I am playing around with my camera setup, so I'm using a bit different setup, so it might look a little funky this evening, so bear with me as I get used to this new setup. So I see that Mr. Jason is on. He's watching from the other side of the door. Before we get started in our project, I got an order yesterday and I got an order today, so I wanted to let you know. I just kind of wanted to go through that with you and show you some of the yummy goodness that I got this weekend. My father-in-law, Chris, is on. Hello. I hope you had a great day today. So here are some of the yummy goodies that I got this weekend. So these are the Christmas tree cutouts. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of washed out in the front view, so I'll just do the overhead view. There are 2 trees and there are 2 stars. And I do also have the patterns for these. These are you can do double-sided on these, so front and back. You can paint them, you can stain them, you can decoupage napkins to them, you can add scrap of paper to them. You name it, you can probably do it to these trees. And of course, I'm having so much fun making the gnomes that I decided to get a second transfer in case my first one wears out. So I've made 5 or 6 different gnomes with this transfer so far. So it's been one of my favorite ones to use. And then I picked up the wings, the angel wings. I think these are really pretty. This is a 12 by 18. It's a size C transfer, so they are fairly large. There's that transfer. I got a Christmas countdown transfer. This is also a size C. And I think I'm going to use it on one of my paint stick signs. And I'm going to make some tags with the different numbers so you can make kind of a Christmas countdown sign. And then this one was the one I really wanted. This one's called You Make Me Melt. It's also a size C. It's been hugely popular already. It has sold out once. And as soon as it came back into stock, I decided to pick it up. So I'll be making some fun projects with this one. And then these are just our simple shapes. There's a square, 2 squares and 2 rounds in this package. And then these are the rectangle shapes. These are 5 by 12. These are very similar to the shapes that I used for the Dead and Breakfast sign. It's the exact same dimensions. So if you're looking to pick those up, those would be great. Here are the snowflake cutouts. 1 snowflake is 6.5 inches and 1 snowflake is 8. And again, these can also be double-sided. You can sand them, you can stain them, you can paint them, you can decoupage on them. Lots of treatments that I've already seen on those. This is the Christmas tree decorative cutting board, and there is a transfer that goes along with this. I believe I already have it it's stored away for a future project, but there is a transfer that goes along with this cutting board as well. These are the new 3x3 box frames. I'm super excited to use these. I think I'm going to make a small garland out of them, so I'm going to connect them together with maybe some farmhouse beads and some, of course, some fabric strips, and make maybe, I'm hoping that the joy transfer fits in these. So this is a 4-pack, and they are 3x3s, and they can be double-sided as well. So the back side is also a usable surface. I'm going to get, I think I've made mention that the Positive Vibes transfers are on 50% off this month. And that's for any customer. You don't have to be a club member. You can just be a regular customer. But this is one of the animal print transfers that is 50% off. So this is normally $14.99. So it would be roughly $7.50-ish. If you are a club member and you earned the bounce back coupon last month to use this month, then you can stack your 25% off bounce back coupon onto these Positive Vibes transfers as well, and they'll even be at more of a reduced cost. So this one is one of the other Positive Vibes. It is an 18x18 size D transfer. So there's a zebra pattern, and then it says make today yours and dare to begin. I'm excited to use this one. I think I might make some zebra print Christmas trees. So excited to use this one. Again, this one is 50% off. I believe the D size transfers are $39.99, so they'd be roughly $20, which is a heck of a deal for that transfer. This one is, I'm excited. I'm going to make some snow globe ornaments out of these. This is called Christmas All Around. So it's the reindeer. It says, "Won't you guide my sleigh tonight? The Christmas present special delivery from Santa Claus." The tree says, "Walking in a winter wonderland." And the hot cocoa says, "Keep warm and drink cocoa." So this one is super cute. We'll go to, I think this next one is the Christmas tree patterns. So it fits these Christmas trees, and it includes the 2 stars right here. So you can chalk on the stars as well. So you've got the peppermint stripe, the holly berries, and the holly leaves. Kind of your Christmas subway art: joy, love, peace, family, believe, laughter, harmony, together, memories, greetings, happiness, holiday, tradition, and Christmas. And then you have your kind of your Nordic Christmas sweater pattern here. So I'm super excited to use that one. And then, of course, here is the Snowflake pattern transfer. So it goes with the cutouts, which I showed a little earlier. This one is a size C transfer. And then probably my most, besides the snowman, this one is the one I'm excited to use next, the Snow Rider Sled Company transfer. I've seen some really cute signs made with this one, and super cute. Can't wait to use it. So be watching later for projects that I use with all of this yummy stuff. So now I just got to figure out where to put it. Leave it down here. Get all this stuff out of the way so we can get to tonight's project. But I know it helps sometimes to see some of that product in person. I know the first time I got a C and a D size transfer, I was like, holy moly, those things are huge. But so it is nice to see those in person. So tonight we are going to be chalking on the flip side of these blocks. Remember, we did these blocks, I believe, in September with the Enter If You Dare transfer. And then so tonight we're going to be using the flip side. And I've realized my overhead camera is really far away, but we'll fix it. So we're going to be chalking on this side. So I think this transfer is the Autumn Sayings, and I think I'm going to use Gobble Gather and Gobble on the larger block. I'm going to use Just the Grateful on the medium-sized block, and this is the Club Couture transfer for the month. So if you haven't joined Club Couture yet, this is the only way to get this transfer. Is you can either be a club member or a designer, and you are eligible to pick up this transfer. And then for the small block, I'm going to use the pumpkin that comes on the Harvest Signpost transfer. I think it'll fit perfect on that block. So let's see. And I think a few of these colors are either retired or out of stock, but I wanted to use them anyway because I wanted to match my decor. I think I'm definitely going to use orange peel on the pumpkin. I'll flip that over. I think I haven't decided if I can't decide. I definitely want to use this curry color because I really like mustard yellow. So I think I'll do Grateful in mustard yellow. I just can't decide if I want to paint the background of that block. And then I thought about painting this block navy. Maybe a cream color, cream or white. I'll have to help. I'm not very good with picking colors. I don't know if I should paint this one brown and then go over the letters with mustard, or I think I'll paint this one mustard and use white. And maybe I'll use white on this one too. So we're not adding too many colors. Okay, so I think I have a game plan. We'll leave that back there. That's a paste color. And then these are my paint colors. Okay, I think I've got it figured out. So I'm going to paint these two blocks first. So I'm going to get these out of the way, and then we can prep the transfers in a little bit. So I'm just going to get 2 color trays, and my apologies, I believe they're either low quantity or out of stock right now. They're stuck on a cargo ship among other things. So I'm just going to paint with the chalk paste this evening. That one is super dried up. This is actually Cadet, which is sold out right now. But in the cart link, I put Colonial Blue, which I think you could mix with a little bit of black or brown to make it darker. You could even try like a dark gray. And so if you already had Colonial on hand, you could mix in a color to make it a little darker blue. And I'm just going to add quite a bit of water to get it to where it's kind of a chalk paste or an acrylic paint consistency. Ooh, I've got you guys really up high. And I'm going to turn, I have a fan on, so turn that off so it doesn't dry out my chalk paste. I think that's pretty good. It's a little thick, but I think it'll still work. So I've got it. It's a pretty thin consistency. Hopefully I won't need any more because probably won't ever get the paint matched again. Okay, so I'm just going to take the brush that's in our artist tool set, and I'm just going to carefully paint it on. And the nice thing about painting, I need more water, painting with chalk paste is that it dries super quick. You already have it on hand, so you don't have to go buy any more paints. But the biggest thing is it dries super quick. Okay, I think that's a little better. I think this color's a little more blue than I would prefer a darker navy, but I am not the best at color mixing. If you've been around here at all, it seems like everything I try to mix turns into puce green. And if I get over the edges a little bit, I'm not too worried because I can sand that off very easily. And it still kind of gives it that distressed look. It is a pretty color. I'm glad navy doesn't ever go out of style because I really like navy. Even though this is probably a little more blue than navy, but I think I might let that dry and I'll maybe put on a second coat. Okay, I'm going to get the knives out. And I need to get out my quick dry tool, which is down here. I tore apart my space yesterday, resetting my camera, so everything is actually put away. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this really quick and maybe put on a second coat. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Have you had a good start to your week so far? Okay, that's dry already. The joys of painting with chalk paste. I'm going to add a little bit more water. Goes on like butter. It's drying super quick. Oops. Just because it seems to be drying pretty quick this go around. Yeah, I probably just kind of help me spread it a little more. or make it more splotchy. Get some of these dribbles. Okay, dry that one. Sorry, I'm kind of quiet this evening. My apologies. Getting in the zone. I think I'm just going to let that one chill a little bit while I paint the mustard one. So we'll do the same thing. Just get a little dollop. And this is curry, but again, I link, and it is retired. But I think if you mix bumblebee with a little bit of bark, you'll get a similar color. And those I've linked in the cart link in the description. So if you click on the link, it just pulls everything that we're using tonight up into your cart. The only thing that you would need to add would be your Club Couture subscription if you would like to get the Grateful transfer. And I can talk a little bit more about the Club Couture program at the end of the video. Add quite a bit more water. So I'm just kind of getting this to a acrylic paint-like consistency. I'm just adding some distilled water. You could use regular water, but if you intend to put this back into your jar, you'll want to use distilled water. I've got a, oops, I had a clump. Okay, so I'm just going to take my other brush. I'm just going to start painting. There's something about yellow that I happen to just love this season. I have just fallen in love with yellow. Okay, so I'm just making sure I get most of my brush strokes out. So then we'll dry this one. So I normally go live on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7:45 Central, and then again on Saturday at 11 a.m. Central. But my family and I will be at the Kansas Speedway this weekend. So this week's lives will only be tonight and Wednesday night. So no live on Friday evening or Saturday morning. And please, if you do any praying, pray that it doesn't rain this weekend because it's supposed to rain on Saturday or on Sunday in Kansas City. And I'll be sad if the race gets rained out. I got a sad face. If you wouldn't mind when you're watching the video, you hit that share button, hit the heart button, hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way if Facebook ever gets wonky or we experience another blackout or an outage like we did a couple weeks ago, then you can always catch me live on YouTube as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put a second coat on this. And you can always tag your crafty friends too. Let them watch. Let them know that I'm here creating. Some goopies. Okay. Some paint boogers. Okay. I think that's good on the paint. That one is drying kind of weird. I'm going to reach across. Sorry, you're going to see my hand. Just going to get one of these little trays to throw all my messy stuff in so I can take it to the sink easier. Okay. I'm going to get some of this. It's a little messy with the blue paint. Okay. Get cleaned up a little bit, and then we'll move on to the other block. I'm not going to paint it. I'm going to leave it natural. Put those away. But I think before I adhere the pumpkin, I'm going to do a little bit of sanding. So I'm just going to sand the edges. Maybe. Let me see how it fits first. Nope, I don't have to sand yet. Okay, I'll do that later when I get done with everything. Okay, so this, these are reusable silkscreen transfers. So they are sticky back. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how you take care of them. And they come on a backer sheet similar to this. This one is from the Harvest Signpost, so it's an 18 by 24 transfer, I believe. But I've cut parts of it off so that I can store the pumpkin elsewhere. But because these are reusable, I want to write on the back of the backer sheet. I'm going to write that these are the Harvest Signpost accents. I do that because when I have multiple transfers like this that I'm washing, this way I know that these designs go on this backer sheet and that this backer sheet is the back. And this is a brand new transfer that I've never used before. And I'm also using it on wood. So I'm going to fuzz. And I actually am going to sand. Never mind. On some of these wood cutouts, I like to sand the surface down just so that it's a little more smooth. And I think I have 180 grit sandpaper on this little sander. So I'm just going to go along. And I don't want to sand a lot. I just want to sand enough to where my surface is a bit smoother. And then I'm just going to get a towel from over here. So I'm just going to wipe that off. And then I'm also going to wax the surface with some surface wax. And what this does is it lays a barrier between the raw wood fibers and my transfer. And it also kind of fills in some of those uneven parts of the wood that I may not have gotten sanded off evenly. So I'm just using an old t-shirt. When we get t-shirts that we outgrow or they get holey, I just cut them up and put them down in my craft area. And then I'm going to take a clean portion of my rag and just kind of buff that in. Okay. Put that over there for later. So now I'm fuzzing my transfer. So I'm just putting a kind of a layer of lint down so that my transfer doesn't stick so hard to the surface that it either stretches itself or distorts itself, and it doesn't pull up any paint or wood fibers. Okay. I'm just going to place this on the block, and I can kind of feel around the edges. It looks pretty even, and then I'm just going to smooth it down to make sure I have a good adhesion. That way my paste doesn't seep under my transfer. I'm going to be using orange peel. And I'm going to grab a squeegee. So I'm just going to dip my squeegee into the chalk paste. I forgot that this has a stem on it, so I think I'll do the stem, the bark color. So kind of have to be careful around the stem. So I'm just dragging it down the silk, my squeegee down the silkscreen area. Actually, let's get a smaller, I can't find anything. I'm going to just get a smaller squeegee for this area right here around the stem. So I can get into that little tight space. And I'm just going to put the excess back into my jar, and then I'm going to smooth out all of my squeegee lines. Okay. So there is the orange. I'll grab my bark real quick. Get another small squeegee. And get out some bark. I'm going to do the vine. You know, sometimes when you pull the pumpkin off the vine, the leftover vine turns kind of brown. That's kind of what I'm going to go for here. I'm going to go even smaller and get the multi-tool out. I'm going to try to get that all smoothed out. Okay. Get off any excess. And then I'm going to peel and reveal. And there's our pretty pumpkin. See, let's put, so I'm going to place that in my water over here. Let's go ahead and dry that one. Okay. I'll let that one hang out while I do another one. Okay, so I'm also going to wax this surface because we have painted it and I don't want my transfer to peel it up. So I'm just going to get a little bit of wax onto my rag. And I'm just going to gently rub. And this is going to protect my painted surface. keep dipping in. Have this one little corner left. So now I'm just kind of buffing it out. I feel like I missed a spot right there. So now I'm just taking a dry portion of my rag, making sure I get it good and buffed in. Okay, pretty good. Just making sure I don't put it upside down. Not that it matters, but this way everything is going the right direction. So this transfer is also new. I haven't ever used it, so I'm just going to put autumn sayings on the back. So I know that this is the back of the carrier backer sheet. And you'll also notice that it has white lines. These are cut lines. So you're welcome just to cut your transfer apart into 4 pieces, including the backer sheet. But I like to keep my backer sheet intact for easier storage, less loose parts. So I'm just lifting up the edge of this transfer. And I'm just going to score along that cut line. There you go. And I'm just going to use the bottom one today, the Gather and Gobble. So I don't need to cut the rest apart. Put this back over here. And because it's a new transfer, I am going to fuzz it. I just put it down on my terry cloth towel. And I'm just going to get a layer of lint on the back of the transfer. Again, to keep it from sticking so hard that it pulls or distorts itself. And I also don't want it to stick so hard that it pulls up some of my painted wood. Maybe just one more time. I think that's pretty good. So again, I'm just going to eyeball. I kind of press down the sides to see if I have about the same amount of space, and I can use the bottom edge of this transfer because it came from a non-cut side, so I can line up the bottom. I'm going to have to move it down. It's kind of hanging off the top. That looks pretty good. And you can kind of see through the teal portion, so I can see that right there is the lip of my block. So I'm just going to burnish it down really well. And then I'm going to grab my white. And I'm going to grab a squeegee. I'm going to stir this. It's kind of looks like it's separated a bit. You will notice, especially if you have some older formula paste, because it's made with natural pigments, it will separate a little bit. So sometimes you'll open up a green and there'll be little bits of orange, but that's just because the natural color pigments that they used have just separated slightly. It doesn't mean your chalk is bad. Just going to do that the easy way. So I'm just going to take my squeegee and I'm going to drag the chalk paste down the silk screen area. And I have way too much, but It's okay. I can put it back in my jar when I'm finished. So I'm just going to put all of this excess back in. And then I'm going to start smoothing out all those squeegee lines. And again, I have some excess, so I'm going to put it right back in my jar. But I actually might need some of that. Just by the hair of my chinny chin chin. A little bit goes a long way. Just going to make a pile of stuff over there. So now I'm just going to pull this off. That white looks very striking against that blue. I'm just going to set that to the side for a little bit and then we'll clean it shortly. Thank you. That white really pops off that blue. Very pretty. Pull it up a little closer. It's very pretty. Very pretty against the blue. Okay, so now we're going to use I think I'm just going to put Grateful on here. So I do need to wax this surface. I have a few little boogers on there. So I'm just going to dip my t-shirt into the wax. If that's your motto at Thanksgiving, gather and gobble. Gather, gobble, and wobble. I love Thanksgiving. We've probably discussed this before, but what's everyone's favorite food item what's your favorite food of Thanksgiving? Mine would probably have to be the stuffing or the dressing, however you call it in your neck of the woods. Okay, so pull off Grateful. I'm just pulling off the transfer. I have used this, but I'm still going to fuzz it because I'm using raw wood. If you'd have to choose one, you'd also say stuffing. I'm just a sucker for food, period. Pecan pie, rolls, potatoes. Okay, so what is one food item that you think gets too much hype at Thanksgiving that everyone seems to like but you just think it gets too much hype? Yeah. Hey Ashley, how are you doing? We are chalking the flip side of my block set. So I did Halloween on this set maybe early September. Now we're just doing kind of a Thanksgiving set. I have Gather and Gobble, and I painted it with Cadet. I used the pumpkin from the Harvest signpost. And now I'm using the Grateful portion of the Club Couture transfer for the month. And I think I'm just going to do the lines and the word grateful. So, because that yam and marshmallow stuff, it's good. I like it, but yeah, I'm sure you think it. Yeah, it's not my favorite, but I do. If it's made well, it's good. But yeah, you probably wouldn't like that. So Ashley, I asked earlier what your favorite Thanksgiving food item is, and then the second answer would be, what is one Thanksgiving food that you think is hyped too much, that you just don't like? I'm just covering up some of these spots that are really close to the word grateful because I have a tendency to forget, and I'll just start chalking willy-nilly and forget what I'm supposed to be doing. So I just use some of my least favorite washi tape, or you can even use the placement tape that Chalk Couture sells. But I have so much washi tape, it's not even funny, so might as well put it to good use. So I'm just masking off some of the places that I don't want to chalk. Okay, so I think that's good and connected. Ashley says, cute, cute. You have a Christmas transfer for the block set. I bought 2 of the Christmas transfers, and I need to order another block set. So I'll have Halloween and Thanksgiving on this block set, and then on the other block set, I might have my choice of Christmas. So I'm just using bright white again, and I think I'll just reuse this squeegee. It might be a bit much. So I'm just going to take my squeegee and I'm going to drag it down the silk screen area, and see, I'm glad I taped that off because I would have gone and chalked what I wasn't supposed to. And the tape comes right off in the water. It is a lifesaver for me. Helpful tip of the day: mask off areas that you don't want to chalk. So now I'm just smoothing out my squeegee lines. I'm going to put my excess back in the jar. Put my lid on. Ashley says she's good. You're downstairs sublimating a tumbler. I can't wait to see your tumblers. Okay, so I'm just peeling this off. Ooh, that looks pretty. Yay. Now I have some Thanksgiving decor. I can't wait to see your tumblers. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this back in. Now I'm just going to sand the edges. And you can see on this black one how I sanded the edges and made it gave it a little distressed look. So I'm going to do that to the edges here as well. So I'm just going to take my little sander. It has 180 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to go along the edges. Try to get those corners good and sanded down. Get that edge. Okay, get my towel. I don't know if you can see the difference. It just kind of gives it I think it gives it kind of a finished look. Just doesn't it? It's not as harsh as an edge. So, I don't know. Just my 2 cents. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for the blue one, but I think I'm going to get my trash down here. Dump this dust in the trash, just so I have a little less mess to deal with. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the same thing to the blue. Get those corners really good. Get all the dust off of it. There's the blue one. I don't know, there's just something about sanding those edges that I really like. I'm just trying to get some of the excess paint off. Right there. Okay, so there's that one. Get rid of this bluish gray color of dust. Now we'll do the pumpkin. Jason says it's amazing how much that adds. It does. It's just not as stark of an edge. I hate to say it looks more finished, but because that kind of sounds like an oxymoron when you totally distress edges and it looks finished, but it does. And I really like this little sander. I have a hard time holding the blocks, especially since I've been dealing with tennis elbow this year. These are so easy to grip. Okay, trash back up there. So, and there is the pumpkin. I don't know if you can see the pumpkin very well. So let's stack these together. So this is what they'll look like all stacked up. You could even add some ribbon around the bottom of Grateful and just kind of have it hanging off, which I still might do. I don't know what kind of ribbon I have though, but that would be super cute just around the bottom. So there's my blocks. I'm going to stack these up out of the way because I do need to clean my, I'm going to show you how I clean my transfers. So I just have them in a tub of water. I normally, when I'm just chalking by myself, I take them immediately to my utility sink. But if I'm doing multiples like this, especially during a live, I just throw them in my water. Just don't soak them overnight or for long periods of time. But so then I scraped the transfer on the bottom of the tub just to kind of help get my scrubbing started. And then I'm going to use my board eraser, which these are the Lifesaver. So I just get all of the chalk paste off of the top. And then I'm going to use a board eraser or a disinfectant wipe for the back side. And that helps to get some of that lint that you put on earlier. It kind of helps wipe that off. And it just gets the back of the transfer clean. And then I'm going to get the backer sheet. And I'm going to put it right back on the backer sheet. So it is ready to store, because I am notorious for leaving them. You can put them sticky side up and let them air dry for 5, 10, 15 minutes. But when I do that, I'm notorious for leaving them overnight, sometimes a week, air drying sticky side up. And so I've just started getting into the habit of putting them right back on their backer sheet. And then I don't forget. So I'm just kind of scrubbing it along the bottom of my tub. You can also spray, if you have a sprayer in your sink, that works too. Or you can just take them and do them, kind of rub them like this under running water. That works too. So then I'm just going to take my board eraser, and it gets the rest of that chalk paste off the front. I'm going to flip it over. And I see I have a little bit of chalk paste there that I need to get off. I'm just going to wipe it with a disinfecting wipe. And then I'm going to grab the backer sheet for this one. I'm just going to stick it back on. It's ready to go. And then we have one last one. So I'm going to peel all of the tape off, and it just comes right off, especially when it's wet. It came off in one big chunk. So I'm just going to scrub it gently. And I'm done with that. So I'm just going to take my board eraser, and I kind of hold on to one edge. And then I'm going to flip it over. Wipe it off. And then get its backer sheet. And put it back on. And then it will be ready to store as soon as it's completely dry. Okay, done. Let that dry. Rinse out my board eraser. Get all this trash thrown away. And yes, I do talk to myself when I craft. But I'm also talking to you. Okay. I'm going to put this down just because my board's still a little wet. So here is what we made. Super cute. I think I am going to add some ribbon there, maybe just some twine. Super cute though. I'm pretty excited to put this up on my buffet when Thanksgiving rolls around. So I will keep Halloween through, of course, Halloween, but then I can flip them around, and I can have a super cute, easy peasy Thanksgiving decoration. Super cute. So if you are interested in any of the supplies that I used tonight, they are linked in the cart link in the description. I want to go over just a few things. I did use the Club Couture transfer for this month. It is part of a monthly DIY subscription that comes straight to your mailbox for $19.99 a month. This month it is the Grateful transfer. It comes with camel, papaya, and shimmer olive paste singles. You will get a how-to video and an PDF instruction sheet. It is free shipping on your monthly subscription. You also get a $4.95 flat rate shipping on any additional chalk site order. And you also get special offers and deals from Chalk Couture. There is a customer-wide special this month. Any of the Positive Vibes transfers that are in the Positive Vibes collection, those are 50% off, and I shared 2 of those with you this evening. The larger size E transfer with that zebra print, and then the small giraffe print in the corner. Those are all 50% off, and if you happen to get the bounce back coupon last month for being a club member, you can stack your 25% off bounce back coupon on top of that 50% off for even more deals and steals. I think that's all I have for this evening as far as housekeeping. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off. And like I said earlier, I will be back live at 7:45 Central Time on Wednesday, but that will be my last live for this week. My family and I are going out of town. We will be at Kansas Speedway this weekend for a few races. So no live on Friday night or Saturday. So I will see you again on Wednesday at 7:45 Central. Thanks for watching.